All right, well, it is time to make a payment on my Hoopty account. See all this mess? Yeah. What is that? That's that. Well, it's what that's gonna be. So, well, welcome back, y'all. It is old Big Mike here in the bathroom of the Hoopty abode. And we've got an old one-piece shower tub combo in here. And Mama said that if old Big Papa wants to keep buying Mopars, he's going to have to do something for her. So we're going to remove all of this. And old Big Papa going to build her a walk-in shower. So I got my materials. I think I pretty much got everything. I believe. And we're going with the Schluter system because that's the best way to go about not having leaks. It's a little on the spendy side, but you know, it's pretty much a no-brainer type of situation to put together. And anyone with minimal amount of skills can do it. So, first things first, I gotta get in here and remove all the stuff that's in our way of doing that. Namely, that, all of that, and this whole thing here. So I'm going to get in here and I'm going to make a mess. I'm going to tear it all up. And I'm going to try to get it out with the least amount of trouble, which means, actually, I'll show you what I'll probably end up doing, because this is a one piece. And, you know, they installed this when they were building the house in '93. So it's been here a minute. What I'm going to do is I'll have to pull them baseboards, all that, after I get all the hardware off of here. And I'm just going to cut this dude right here, because we're not reusing it. I'll just cut it right off of here. I mean, we might use this tub for a trough or something, but anyway. And then I'll just cut the panels right up in the corners. Cut that up in the corners and take it out in 4 pieces, it looks like. So I'm going to have to get me some plastic up over my door, all that stuff, keep dust from going all through the house and all that stuff, and have to put on a mask. Not that it's going to help a lot with all this facial hair, but anyway, a little bit might help keep Mom from yelling at me too much. So, all right, I'm going to get my plastic up, get my tools together, and we'll get started. Alright, so some of y'all might know this little tip, trick, whatever. And it's not 100%, but it is helpful. And it's a silly little thing, but when you're putting your plastic up on a doorway, I mean, you want to try to alleviate as much dust and all that in the rest of the house, but you still got to be able to get in and out. So what I do is I cut me a piece and I go down, leave a little bit of space there. Then I cut another one. I start up here, go down on the outside, tape it off. And then I do the same thing here, but I tuck this one on the inside. And then what that does, it gives you a little go through right there. And then when you get ready to start working, just go ahead and just put her back there, and that helps you keep from getting dust all over everything. So, and I should have been thinking about it before, because now I'm going to have to pull one side, because I didn't take none of this stuff out. Good night. I don't think Mama wants dust all over her towels and all that stuff. So there's that. Hello, it's me again. How about that? So we got our prep work all done. Yeah, I do an awful lot of prep work. I prep it just like if I were working for a client, because it's good practice. And if you're going to do something like this for a client, if you take the extra time and do all this, it makes cleanup so much faster. And the people like it a lot. Whenever I was still running the business, I would do this anytime I'd go in the house and work on their fireplace, work on whatever it was that they needed work on with the masonry inside their house, because it's very dusty, or the tile work or whatever. And makes a huge difference with the client. So anyway, now we got this done. Now we can start with our removal. All right, well, I went ahead and took off the shower head and removed the rack and all this junk. Y'all don't care about that stuff. So anyway, next we got to get this out. Get this little trim ring off. Little trim ring just pops off. No big deal. That'll come off whenever we take this off, or not go. No, look at that. Look at that. Look at that kid go. It pop right off. That right there. Alright, there we go. Get that out of there. Just screws in. No big deal. Got that little O-ring there. You probably don't want that going down your drain or nothing. Might need that later. Alright. I gotta get these knobs off here. Just gotta pop these little caps. Get those little caps off there. There's a little Phillips head screwdriver right in the center of those. And I'll get those off here in a minute, but Mama's doing laundry, of course, while I'm trying to do this. So I gotta wait for the washing cycle to finish. Then I'll get in here and I'll take these off, because I gotta shut off the water for some reason, because we don't want water going. So, alright, I'll be back. Alright, Mama's done playing in the laundry. I mean, she's done playing with the washing machine. So shut off the water. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of these knobs. Part of the reason for this whole thing was that we have a leak. See that drip? You may or may not be able to see it, but it has a steady drip. Because like I said, this house is built in '93. All this stuff's original to it, I'm sure. And stuff starts leaking. You know, so it's like, man, gets old and crusty. So we just go ahead and change everything out. I'll get these out. This right here on the little plunger for the drain, just a couple of screws. That thing come out, unscrew in there. Little Phillips head screw on the drain right here in the middle. We'll get all that out, and I'll be back direct like. Alright, well, I've got the little drain plug out, and just in case you don't know, this part here, some of them will have an Allen screw on it or whatever. Most of them not. Most of them just screw on. You just kind of work them loose. And then they'll just unscrew just like that. Okay, so that's pretty much all you got to do with that one right there. So, and these here, you usually just get off of there. They'll unscrew off of there, or they'll pop off. We'll get these off of here. Probably have to just take this off to get these off here. That's got a little nut right here on the front of each of these. So I'll get those off. We'll move forward. All right, so I got all that off, and there's all our components. And I didn't pull these valves yet because even though the water's off, I'm gonna wait until after I cut all this and get this out, just in case there's any issues in there. There's still water in the water heater, so there's going to be some in that hot water side. So I just want to be careful not to make a bigger mess than I need to. So anyway, all right, I'm going to get in here and I'm going to cut around the edges with my utility knife, get all the caulking, all that stuff cut, and then I'll start with the Sawzall and I'll cut out the tub. So next, look, it's an alien. Alright, so I got my initial cuts made. Yeah. So, main thing about when you get up here, you got to really be careful and keep your blade like this so that you don't go too deep. When you get into plumbing, you want to get into it on your own terms, not on accident. Alright, so see if we can get this thing tore out. All right. Go ahead and cut that flange on top. Alright, get this back wall out. Should be a breeze now. That. That one didn't quite come out. Just gotta be careful here. Right. Where's my, oh, right there. So, there we go. Here's that part. Alright, so, see, now I can get to my plumbing here. So I'm going to be changing this out from a 3-way thing here. I'm not going to have independence here. I'll be going to a single valve. I'm going to raise it up here because if you're in the shower, actually I'll probably raise it up right here. So, you know, about mid-waist high, something like that. So this is all going to get changed out. And yeah, that's going to be the fun part. So yeah, it won't be too bad though. So anywho, all right, now I got to get this tub portion out of here without breaking anything. And then we'll have to start working on some plumbing. All right, I'm going to show you a little trick. If you're of the hoopty variety, like old Big Mike, you ain't got all the tools for this. 11/16 inch wrench down in here in your drain. We'll just work it back and forth until you get it moving like it's supposed to. They've got a special wrench just for this. And it probably ain't that expensive, but if you're just a, you know, weekend do-it-yourselfer, you ain't got that wrench. You just, there. Yep. Didn't quite get it loose enough to go without them. But we're getting there. There we go. Now we got her going our way. So, right there. There you have it. So, just one of them little tips. Alright, so let's do it come out now. Hot dog. Alright, how about that business? That was fun. Alright, so it would appear I got some cleanup to do. And they have the dryer vent going through there. I did not know that. That is less than optimal. So, what I'm probably going to have to do because of that, so I'm probably going to have to just bring another little wall straight up here or reroute the dryer vent, which isn't going to happen because there's no room to do that. So, I'll probably just end up having to add to this wall. Shower be just a hair smaller, just a little smaller. And it's going to have to be what it is. So, all right. Let me get all this cleaned up. And we'll make a plan going forward. All right. Well, I don't know why I thought they would have used copper. I mean, you know. Anyway, so all they used was the PVC and some steel, and oh well, there's copper for the spout for the tub and little copper for the shower, but that's all the copper they used. So anyway, that's what you get when you assume. So I'm gonna have to go back to Lowe's and get some other fittings that are going to work for what I need to do. And I'm gonna reconfigure this drain as well. Instead of building up this floor and taking away our height, the way this is set up, I'm going to eliminate for the plug here, and I'm going to drop this down, and I'm going to drop the drain down to the tile level and go from there. I mean, I'll have to take some thin set and build this up right here so that it's all, you know, right. But I'm going to bring this out, let's see, out and down to here, because if I'm going to have to build this wall out, you don't want to be standing right against the wall when you're trying to take a shower. So I got to move that drain a little farther out here, more to the center. And if you look at my Schluter system, the drain is farther over there. And I may even still have to cut the end of that shower pan off and relocate the end of it over there so that I can get it to set on there. And then after I do that, I'll have to do something different as well. And what I'll probably have to do, since this pipe is going crooked in that corner, I'll probably make just a little kind of bench shelf thing so the lady can shave her legs right there or whatever, you know. You know how they like to shave them legs. At least they should. Anyway. Alright. Next day, I went to Lowe's, grabbed a few things. Did some figuring. Didn't do much sleeping. More figuring than sleeping. Anyway. So I was looking at this. And this is absolutely not safe. The way that they got that vent coming out of that dryer, snaking back like that, that's just a lint fire waiting to happen. So part of what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all this apart, and I'm going to just come straight off of here and into there and eliminate this extra elbow. And I'm just going to build the bench all the way across here up there like that. And this is going to be going away, the top portion, because I won't have a drain plug there anymore. And this, I'll reconfigure this, and because I need my drain back here anyway. I may even have to take out a little bit of the floor here. I'm not sure yet. But one of the first things I'm going to do is eliminate this snake and fire trap here. So I'll get that coming apart and see what we got. Alright, so I got that changed around, but I don't happen to have any of that kind of ductwork. What I do have though, I have that. The cool thing about those corners, they slide and pivot. I can make that into a straight piece and just cut off what I need and make that happen. So I reckon that's probably what I'm going to have to do. Alright, so I got that straight piece, and then it's going to be a little too long, so I'm just going to cut that much off of my elbow and slip it in there. And luckily I have these to crimp the end like that, so it'll be just kind of like factory. Alright, so now that's mo better, and once I'm done with my plumbing and stuff and I'm 100% sure, that's all I'm going to have to do there. Tape up all my seams. We'll be good to go. Alright, so I'm tied into my vent, I got that capped off, so if I ever need to, I can get in there. If we have a clog, we can get in from the back side in the utility room, get to it. But that vent goes outside, and now my thing is I've got enough room that I can drop this whole thing down just a little bit and chisel out 7/8 according to my floor and my tile and all that, or I have to pour a bunch of concrete in here to level this whole thing up. I think we're just going to chisel out 7/8. Yeah, I still got a roto hammer. Now if I had Scott from Heaven's Mopar's easy button, this would be the time to push it and say that was easy. That makes it a lot easier. Better than hammer and chisel like that. Clean up the edges with that. That's about it. So, alright. Alright, I think we're making progress. I got that all kind of arranged. That's just sitting there temporary. I've got I'm going to be disconnecting the water and all that here in a little bit. But I had to take all this insulation out because we decided that we're going to have our little bench right here. We're going to go ahead and put our shelf right here in this end of the wall as well. And that's our shelf. But instead of putting it up vertical, we're going to put it horizontal. That way we ain't got to buy those expensive dadgum shelves. They want like $100 a piece for those stainless steel shelves that go inside there. That's ridiculous. We ain't doing that. So I'm going to cut this out, get it all centered to where it's going to be, and then that way I'll know where I've got to run my PEX line. I got to notch out too for my valve, and then I'll get my valve set. After I get my shelf set in place, then I'll set my valve, and I'll be able to run my PEX in behind and up and out. So yeah, got a lot of rerouting. It's a good thing I ain't doing this for somebody else. My batteries are all dead. Got a big old mess. And I'm just gonna clean up my mess, put some things up, organize some things so that I can work, and we'll see if we go any further today. Alright, I got her all cleaned up and all that ish. Anyway, another day. So today went and got new kicks for the truck, new shoes, tires, you know. Anyway, so I started cutting this out for my shelving. I gotta do a little bit of brace work in here, you know, cut some pieces for it and down here and all that. I'm gonna go ahead and get all my framing stuff done before I cut out this last little piece right here. Not sure what that was about, but anyway. So I'm gonna get all my bracing work done, and then I'll cut that out, and we'll see where we go next. Alright, so I got these cut out for my shelf. I got my braces put in, bottom and top, and I went ahead and set my little valve here. Show you. This thing's got a little spacer. You space it out for your wall that's coming in. Anyway, so I did that and put my shelf in here just, you know, for measurement purposes, so I can measure up under here how long I need for my little piece of PEX. I'm going to have to put an elbow, come up here, and an elbow, come up to the top for my shower head. So I'm going to go ahead and get all that, and then down here I'll get my PEX ready to go, get all my elbows ready, and then I'll shut off the water, put it together, and be done with that part. So next. So here's a fun little tip. not a hoopty tip, just a regular tip. When you hook up your valve and you go to, test your water and all that, make sure it's all the way off before you pull the plug out of the shower head part. Yeah. I mean, I got my water on, all my plumbing's done. Everything's good, no leaks. So, that's good. So, all right. Onward with the framing prep stuff. All right. So, I went ahead and I put insulation in this wall, and it doesn't need it necessarily because it's an interior wall, but I figured it would kind of help dampen the sound in the next room. This was the exterior wall. All that insulation was trashed, had a bunch of mouse poop and stuff. It was all tore up in there, and so I got all brand new insulation. That's an exterior wall. It's got to be well insulated. Even though it's south wall, still can't have all that cold getting in here. And I'll tuck insulation in this one as I go. But whew, anyway, I gotta cut out for my green board and all that and get it to where it goes. So, all right, just guess I'm gonna probably go ahead and get my green board cut for this one and that one first, and then see how much more time I got to work, because believe it or not, this takes a while. All right, well, got my zip board cut for that there. None of it's installed, it's just sitting there. And I'm gonna do all this tomorrow and build this wall here. I gotta frame up a wall here, and so I'll have to cut this off, all that. And yeah, I gotta put some braces back here to screw to when I screw my zip board down. So I got quite a bit more framing to do, and I got to frame in the little step and all that, so I got quite a bit of framing. But yeah, been a pretty long day, and I'm gonna let all this finish drying up just to double check, make sure I ain't got no drips at all. We'll let her set overnight. Water's been on the whole time, so I think we're good to go. So all right, that's today. All right, so here we go. Another day. Today, I'm gonna get all my boards set. I gotta put a board in behind here, split this so that we'll have something to screw our zip board to. And same thing here. I gotta cut that drywall out and put a board right here to where we can connect the drywall and the grain board to. And our wall is actually gonna go right here all the way down. So I'll get that cut out, and I'll go ahead and pull all my green board down. I was just getting stuff, situated, and we'll get going. Of course, I need to do this too. I decided I'm gonna take this off, and I'm gonna cut that down a bit, drop this down just a hair, just because of where the shower head was hitting. It was just a hair too high. So I'm gonna get that thing done, and I'll be back here directly. All right, so took my hammer drill, put 4 tack cons down in the concrete, these concrete screws. And now I can set my framework on there, screw that to my plate, and then screw that to the wall. Well, it'd be pretty dang close. Then we can start putting our green board back in, and yeah, see how far we get. All right, we got her in there. Got that wall up. I'm not doing anything with the outside here because that's not going to be tile. I'm going to finish that different. I'll show y'all when I get to it. But got all my green board and my flashing tape, got it all rolled too. I don't know if everyone else does this, but I roll all my edges with a roller to make sure it's all perfectly sealed. But we got her in there. We got our bench, got our shelf, got everything closed in, and it is another day. So tomorrow I'll start putting the Schluter in. All right, well, it is another day, and yes, we're gonna get busy and start installing that Schluter system. So I'm gonna get all my stuff together and get all this in here and all that, and we'll see if we can figure out how it works. All right, so here's what we did. We got our membrane and our pan and our curb all set. And I didn't do a how-to on all this because there's like probably at least 100 videos online how to install this stuff, and I wasn't trying to teach you how to do it. I'm just showing you what I'm doing for Mama, building her a shower. So anyway, mine was a little different anyway, obviously, because I had to do a whole lot of changing up around here. So this is totally custom. This isn't a standard shower. So anyway, that's where we're at. All right, well, we are fixing to start putting some tiles up. We got some accents, we got some borders, we got some floors, we got some walls, and pretty late in the afternoon, but yeah, we'll get started anyway and see how far I get. All right, well, didn't get much done, got a bit. Got some of the tedious stuff out of the way, especially that. That was kind of a pain in the butt whenever you don't have exactly the right tools. You gotta use a 4.5-inch grinder to cut a hole like that in tile. That stuff's pretty brittle. So we just stair-stepped it down. And mañana, I'll go on up around here and have something to keep it going. And I'll brace up here, but I gotta have all this set first so that I can go up here with the top portion. So yeah, well, that's where she's at right now. All right, I'm getting another late start today because we had to go and get some tin, and Mama forced me to take her to lunch, and then she forced me to take a nap, held a pillow over my face and told me to go to sleep. And what are you squawking about in there? So fire, fire, fire. Y'all believe me, right? Liar, of course you believe me. Anyway, so that's why I haven't got started yet, but I'm going to get in here and get started. So let's get this thing rocking and rolling again. All right, well, I burned up my mud, got to a stopping point, and yeah, we got a ways to go. So yeah, we'll be back on it tomorrow. All right, one more time with feeling, barring any unexpected interruptions, I'll have this dude all knocked out as far as setting the tile today. So I'll get in here and get busy and see what we get done. Okay, well, so I didn't get it all stuck, but pretty dang close. And the only thing I didn't get done is the bench and the floor. But other than that, we're stuck. So now we got to clean up and go to a birthday party. So yeah, well, progress. So I probably won't be back in time to do anything tonight, but we'll see. I might not. But anyway, there she is. All right, so here we go again. Now I did make a little adjustment. I went ahead and cut this out because I want to continue that ribbon around. Mama said she liked it just fine that way, but it was making me crazy. I couldn't do it. So I got to do that. And I got to get my Curdy Fix, whatever this stuff, and go all around the outside of this, all around the outside of this. We get all that sealed up. And I'm gonna go ahead and grout everything that I've got laid up here. And then all I have left to do is the bench and the floor, and I'll get them set today and then grout them tomorrow. All right, so I got my ribbons to continue it and got everything grouted and washed. Not final wash, but I'll be doing final wash here in just a bit. I did not get to the bench and the floor yet, but it took significantly longer to grout this thing than what I was hoping, but that's all right. I'd rather it take me longer and get it done right.
How many bags did you go through?
2 so far.
Only?
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, it's there. All right, everything's pretty well dried up and set. See if we can't finish up this mess here. Get all this junk up and get a floor and a bench done. Oh, and our outside wall. All right, so my outside wall is up and done. Just did a little bit of cedar and framed in some old used roofing tin off of a barn. And the floor and bench are set, but I still have to grout them, and that will be tomorrow. And then we'll just have to seal it, and we'll be done. So, yay, she's coming together. Oh yeah, I meant to start recording before I did this, but anyway, there's a bunch of grout on there. And I'll get this all grouted, and then Mama will be back with some sealer here in a little bit. I had to touch up a couple spots, but anyway, tomorrow we'll seal everything and we'll put our fixtures in. Should be ready to go. All right, so here it is. This is how we build credit on our Hoopty account. So we got our shower all done. The reason I did the whole framework here like that is to tie it in with the mirror that I built her before. So you see them together. How about that? It matches. Now Mama's going to want a countertop. So that's what I've been doing. We'll get back to cars for a couple days until I have to get back on something like this or whatnot. But do me a favor. If you ain't subscribed, go ahead and do that. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Say, you big dummy, you ain't no dadgum remodeler. And I'll say, probably not. But, you know, it's our house, so it doesn't really matter. So, till next time, y'all keep watching. I'll keep working on silly little projects and whatever.